Promo Insiders, an ASI Media podcast covering the topics that matter most to the promotional products industry. I'm Sarah Lewandowski, Executive Director of Client Education and Content, and today we welcome industry veteran Rusty Pepper to the podcast. Rusty is head of new markets and partnerships at Taylor OnDemand, part of Taylor Corporation, and he is here to talk with us about several top markets that pose opportunities for both print and promo sales. So thanks, Rusty, for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Looking forward to the conversation.
So let's start with healthcare. This market was number 2 for promo distributors last year at about $2.7 billion of industry sales based on ASI Research's State of the Industry data. But what makes it also a good bet for print materials? What trends are you seeing in print sales in this market?
Yeah, it is a massive market, as we all know. It's huge on promo, but it's even bigger on the print side. You've got lots of really big categories in there. So if you think about just even for hospitals, you have your patient information education, you have brochures, pamphlets, and booklets, based on the treatments. You've got post-surgical care and disease management. You've got wristbands and labeling. So when a patient checks into a hospital, all that, those are all print material, print items that you can do. You also have all the forms. There's a lot of hospitals, most of them have not gone to full digital registrations and that. They're still using forms. All those forms have to be produced somewhere. And that is a print item and substrate that you can actually make available and be part of that solution. Wayfinding signage is huge in hospitals, making it easy for guests and the patients to find out where they're going. It goes across clinics. It doesn't really matter where. There's always something happening within those environments where they need to get people quickly and more efficiently to wherever they need to go. So wayfinding is huge. Floor clings, wall clings, window clings, Braille, so many different, treatments that they need to be able to do. That's a really big opportunity. And as I mentioned before, like for billing and administration, you have all the forms, printed statements, appointment reminder cards. Those are all opportunities.
Great.
So, and then, there's, if you really kind of break down across, I look at like a insurance. So I even classify like a Cigna and Blue Cross Blue Shield. They're part of the healthcare system, right? So what are the different ways that they're using it? You got printed package. They are big into brochures. They got their benefit summaries, their ID cards. And let's just see where else there is, vaccination reminders. Then take that into the clinics themselves. A lot of large format. You've got posters and banners and poster boards, the A-framed, all those are part of the print substrates that these companies are using. But if you look at labels, massive in healthcare, bracelets, IDs, and forms, those probably are the biggest categories when you look at it across the whole healthcare sector. But then there's just, when you look at signage and everything else, those all go in the full picture. So big opportunity. If I'm out there selling promo, I definitely want to make sure I'm also trying to find print opportunities within the healthcare sector because it's just so much bigger.
Let's talk about retail. About $1.5 billion worth of industry sales last year. I know inflation has put downward pressure on consumers' purchasing ability, but still, there's opportunity for companies to offer print if they're already offering promo.
Oh, 100%. You got within retail, you've got in-store marketing materials, you got point of purchase displays, shelf talkers, window clings, floor clings, banners, posters, signage. That's just in-store marketing. Then you've got, gift cards, loyalty cards, coupons, flyers, brochures. Those are all items that are easy at point of sale for you to go in there and sell printed. Those are all printed materials. Packaging, custom packaging, gift boxes, mailer boxes, branded tape, wrapping paper, envelopes, flexible pouches. Those, again, look at the print medium. And you go into corporate identity, you got business cards, letterhead, stationery, your typical items that you would see across all those, every category that we'd be talking to. And then you have direct mail, postcards, you have omni-channel out there. So how do you get them at home and respond where they're going to be? You have postcards, catalogs, newsletters, sales sheets. And then operationally, for a retailer, you can also look at forms, invoices, receipts, and also training material.
Yeah, we just had a feature last week, a couple weeks ago, that really it talked about the catalogs are coming back. And it's more like, a magalog, a lookbook. J. Crew just has, they just released their catalog after a few years. They back to print. Amazon has a print catalog, if you can believe it. Like catalogs are coming back. People like them.
People don't, they're inundated with this every day. There used to be
Yep,
a time where you didn't want to look at your actual physical mail. You couldn't wait till you get excited about an email. Now
that's
it's
right.
like, okay, I want something tactile that I can actually touch and feel. That's why you see even with the younger generation, you're seeing photo prints coming back. There's a resurgence there because they grew up digital. Now they realize, oh, I can actually hold this. I can tape it on my wall. I can do all the things we grew up doing. They're now it's coming back, and it's a pretty neat to see happen. And but yeah, with catalogs, especially as it relates to being able to hyper personalize the
Hmm.
delivery of the content for the users. So yeah, that's where you're going to see with these magazines a lot of times where they'll be able to actually personalize the cover based on the audience. If they have as much information as they can get from the data profile on, they can literally personalize, hyper personalize that for that audience. So think about it from a postcard standpoint. If I'm a retailer at Petco, for example, and I want to target my audience for getting your pet back into store for grooming or their shots and all that, I'll send out a postcard. And if they know Rusty Pepper has a dog named Pepper, it's a German Shepherd, they'll actually send a postcard with the German Shepherd on the tag. It says Pepper on it. And it's really, all of a sudden, I'm going to be more likely now to look and respond to that engagement from that retailer because it's personalized to me. And that's really the power of digital printing and what you're able to do with the technology today to deliver a physical product, medium being print to your consumer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Personalization is so huge.
Yeah.
Another one is nonprofits and charities. Again, a top market for promo. It was about $1.4 billion in sales in 23. They need a lot of help raising awareness to their respective causes. They took a big blow during COVID when they couldn't have, those in-person events. They rely on their fundraisers, things like that. How can how can print distributors that are offering promo also offer print and expand that customer base and their sales in that customer base?
Direct mail is huge for
Yeah.
nonprofits. It's that outreach. Again, how do you hyper personalize that delivery of those products, the postcards, the mailers, brochures to that audience? Yeah, with purchase, obviously that's where a promo comes into play. Is that what is that incentive for that audience to come in and sign up or spend dollars? But you also want to be able to custom package that. So you have packaging, mailer boxes, different ways that you can deliver that experience to them. Then at the event, you also have signage. You've got floor clings, wall clings, posters. I mean, it goes on and on when you think about nonprofits. But a lot of it's going to be in the printed material space for events. And how are
Mhm.
you messaging that atmosphere unless you're actually doing a mailer for them?
Yeah, and another market I want to talk to you about was hospitality, which also took a huge hit during COVID. But we are definitely seeing like a slow recovery. I think it's not like the shoot up that we maybe expected, but it's been gradual. People are, revenge travel, they're taking those bucket list trips finally. They're not hemming and hawing anymore, right? They know that opportunities can slip through their fingers if they don't act on those trips. So what is that looking like now? I know there's still been some struggles in different corners with that market, but what have print opportunities looked like recently for hospitality? Where do you see that going?
Well, I mean, hospitality is a strong category. And if I just look at the hotels, for instance, I mean, everyone, I go back to hyper personalization is really key right now.
Mm.
When you go out there now, their brand, there's an opportunity for these hotels in the local markets to also offer advertisements in a lot of different places that previously had not done before.
Hmm.
And that's what digital printing technologies allow them to do because they can do it at a localized and regional level and actually have it produced in market and shipped out or delivered while still having all the controls that they want to have in place. So think about your room card, the carriers for it, the sleeves for it. All those are opportunities for advertisements and being able to deliver it. So they need somebody that can actually deliver and manage that for them. And that's an opportunity. You also have in room, you've got the door hangs. Those are constantly having to be changed out. They're going with plastics now because they're a little bit longer life cycle. They're also a
Mm.
little bit more cleaner. They don't have that antimicrobial. They can be cleaned and wiped off better. You've got room service menus. You're starting to see wraps around the remote controls as
Mm.
well. COVID was
Hmm.
kind of a changer for a lot of the ways that a lot of the products and how they used it in a room, and a lot of them has stayed in place. But then you also have your traditional ones. You're right, your notepads that you have in a room. Yeah, all those the little uh, yeah, room service or the I don't know, it's called call it a hotel maid or whatever, but whoever's cleaning the room, they'll have actually those little stickers or notes that they are leaving behind that they're signing, saying, "Hey, we cleaned your room if you need anything," or "Here's my QR code for a tip," all that stuff.
Yep.
Those are ways that they're using it just in room. Then you go into the dining experience as well. You got table tents, menus, inserts, posters, menu boards. All that is going to be what you're going to see at the dining experience within those hotels. And then of
Mm-hmm.
course you have wayfinding. Wayfinding, for those that don't know it, that's really what you would see like exit signs, handicap, braille, all the different signage that you would choose inside of a facility, hotels. It doesn't really matter. It could be retail. All of them use wayfinding, and that is a massive category that a lot of times distributors don't even think about. I spent 20 years in that industry. So I'm familiar with how the distributor thinks. And we
Mm-hmm.
don't, it was never something I really considered. But when you're in the print medium, all of a sudden you're looking, going, okay, that's an opportunity. So if you walk into an environment and you see something that's printed two-dimensional, you're like, there's an opportunity. And that's really what print is able to do for them and really deliver for a distributor.
I wonder if some of that, the attention to wayfinding kind of grew during COVID when we had those distancing, we had the distancing signs, we had the floor like decals that had like where you would stand in line, and you're thinking like, oh my gosh, like that is actually a huge category in these public places. I mean, what public place doesn't use wayfinding, right? And then you're like, oh wow, during COVID that really grew. Kind of some of that has gone away, although it exists in some spaces still. But it was like, oh my gosh, wayfinding is so important actually, and it's in like most public places. You would see some kind of print somewhere.
Oh, it is. It's a great opportunity. I mean, you mentioned fork links. So that obviously COVID that was really popular. But they've been around for a while. They've just been
Mhm.
done typically for POS and how do you
Yep.
drive somebody within a certain part of a store.
Sure.
Now you can do it. You're seeing way more common because if I've got a promotion for Halloween and I want to bring people into a certain part of the store, I'm putting footprints down on leading people to where I want them in store. And that makes it not only fun, but it's more engaging and it's delivering results. You're
Totally.
seeing the window clings as well. There's a lot of different fun ways that you can incorporate wayfinding besides the traditional stuff that you see on the wall, boring stuff, but it is. And also, we're doing right now, one of our partners, it's a distributor. They're doing call centers for one of the big telecoms. And they're going in now, and what they found is that these facilities are pretty old,
Mm-hmm.
tired. They need to be refreshed. Well, wall vinyls, doing complete wall vinyls in all these different call centers, refreshing the brand, going in and changing them out. We'll send out crews, they measure out the walls, and then we print, send them out, and then they install them. It's turnkey for it, and it's huge dollars for this distributor to be able to have this ability to sell vinyl wall wraps across all these different call centers. I think there's like 14 across the country.
Wow, that's
Amazing.
fantastic.
That's what we know of right now.
That's fantastic. Um, Another market that's seen some tumult over the past couple years is tech startups. There's been some, kind of large, high profile layoffs. Still is a top market for promo. It was about $1 billion in 23 in sales. Where are the opportunities here? I mean, some of these big markets, they really like high-end promo. They're really into employee engagement and motivation, especially at a startup level. But where are you seeing print opportunity here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously promo dominates in that part of it, but again, you still need to have those custom mailer boxes,
Yep.
experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing for sales engagement, right, you get a lead gen, all that, you want to deliver something that's going to be either an onboarding kit or a sales kit to them. It's got to be personalized. It's going to be a full wrapped all around box. It's going to be the mailbox and then all the different components in there. Typically, there's some type of either sales sheet or personalized letterhead, or material that's going to be part of that. That's all part of the print, what we support as a print industry. That has been probably one of the biggest surges that we've seen over the last handful of years is just those curated mailer boxes and gift sets that you're seeing there. We
Mm-hmm.
also see in tech the need to be able to do they do a lot of events, a
Mm.
tremendous amount of events. So you have all your signage, you've got your pre-mailers, so things that are going out ahead of time. And a lot of times promos incorporate into those packages and the mailers that they're doing. So yeah, I mean, tech is not going to be the biggest market necessarily for print compared to like a retail and some of those other areas, but they do a tremendous amount when it comes to the packaging and the event material. So a lot of big
Absolutely.
poster boards, all those type of, I mean, that's really where when I seen it, it's going to be the trade show materials, the booths, tablecloths, wraps, all those things that more would be giftables, but we count that as print because a lot of print producers also produce those as OEM.
Absolutely. Um, and finally, a market that is interesting that you had brought up is kind of a bonus market that's not, we don't have it as a top market for SOI, but it's youth sports and
Yeah.
registration platforms. Like, yeah, I mean, how many kids, all the kids that I know are in like four sports at a time. They have all of these products that they need. It's uniforms, it's to promote the team, and family and friends are so eager to buy those things. It's
Okay.
like, right? Like, where are you seeing opportunity here, especially in print?
Now, ironically, I literally had a call this morning with one of the big platforms, with one of our partners, and that was the topic of conversation is how are they using it for advanced awareness? Because the
Mm,
seasonality, if you think about the big seasons are fall and spring, really in youth sports, but you still have winter, you have summer, and you have summer camps, all that.
hmm
But ahead of registration, the key for any of these youth sports organizations, I was president of our lacrosse league for years.
hmm
You know, you have your yard signs. You have to get the yard signs all around the whole area. So your yard signs go out. Then you've got your directionals. You've got your door hangs. You've got flyers. You've got banners that are put strategically in certain, maybe at schools that when parents come in to pick up their kids or drop off, they see it. So it's really about the visual awareness leading up to the season.
mm,
Then you've got actually the registration part of that, right? So you've got, if it's not all digital, you've got your sign up forms, you've got flyers, you got door hangs that can go out. And now a lot of other stuff is the promo part. So you got, your tablecloths, you got your tents, all the things that you would want to have, but you also have a little bit of the directionals too. So if there's sign up in person or game day, directing people to which field, a lot of signage
hmm
opportunities, which again goes back to yard signs, but it's directional. So it's custom die cut yard signs that are direction go back to the field this way. That's where we're seeing for youth sports is huge, but also the overall just fandom of parents and the amount of money that's being spent in travel sports, especially. So if you're on a travel team, parents are buying, personalized chairs. They're buying the tents. They've got uh, jackets. I mean, it's on and on. The apparel side of that is that right takes the cake there, but all the other tools that parents will need to make that experience better or their travel experience better, they're doing it.
hmm Absolutely. Great. Well, we appreciate your time today, Rusty. Thank you so much for the insights and the context. And for more information on the print and promo markets, please visit asicentral.com/news and printandpromomarketing.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Rusty. Have a great one.
See you.